r/AskReddit by Reddit and chill. Parents who have disowned or genuinely stopped loving your child. What happened? I'm not a parent. I've never disowned a child. My parents disowned my oldest sister. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. My oldest sister had a horrible relationship with my father. Blames me for getting in the way of their relationship. She had her first baby, to spite him, when she was 16 years old. My father refused to give her money because she met a deadbeat child predator. And got pregnant again. Again. And again. She constantly put herself and deadbeat before kids. Dad would send money to girls for Christmas and birthdays and never heard a thing. He finally gave up. She's 30. Has 6 daughters. And lives in a mobile home in North Carolina. We hadn't seen or heard from my sister until June of this year. My oldest niece contacted me asking to come to Florida, where I live, for the summer to get her and her sisters out of the trailer. I agree. Contact sister and she agrees. I set up plane tickets and organize the rooms they'll stay in. When they got here, they were completely disheveled. Clothes visibly dirty. Smelled foul. So covered in lice that my white towel stained grey from removing them. My niece informed me that they had been without water and electricity for 6 months. They live in a 2-bedroom mobile home. There are holes in the roof. Bugs and rats everywhere. As a family, we decide the girls aren't going back to North Carolina. We tell my sister to come to my parents' house in Florida to get her life together and get back on her feet. She refused because deadbeat is not invited. Ironically, she found out that deadbeat is cheating on her. She confronts him and he kicks her out of shithole trailer. Deadbeat said, I would rather be homeless than live with you. Sister now works for the dollar store and doesn't pull her weight with kids. At least the girls are safe now. Your oldest niece is a smart girl to contact you. You're a kind soul to agree and open your heart. My parents disowned my oldest sister. She always struggled growing up more than us. She became a teen mom with a bad elder dude. Partied a lot. etc. But my parents helped her a lot. They do okay for themselves. But had a no co-signing rule for all 6 of my siblings and I. Still, they co-signed for her house so she could get a head start. She didn't pay the mortgage for almost 3 years before my mom got served in front of all the other nurses at her work. My parents worked tirelessly to try to work out deals where my sister and her family kept the house and got some leniency. But to no avail. Because my sister never showed up for court dates. During this time, she paid $12k for IVF and got pregnant with her 5th kid. When my mom demanded some of the money back, she accused my dad and my brother of beating her sons when my parents took them to Disney World. He didn't, and said she'd file a police report if he asked for money again. They kept asking. Cause it wasn't true. She awkwardly joined us for Christmas. And punched my brother in the face during the meal for humiliating her oldest son by asking him if he wanted to work at my brother's company for good pay. Her oldest son is in and out of jail. And my brother was trying to help him after his release. But her son said he didn't want a job and got mad. She then called the cops and told them the same brother had illegal guns in his truck. And they came on Christmas night and searched his truck. No guns found. Needless to say, she is not welcome anywhere near any of us and my mom still cries about it. But refuses to talk to her again. My heart actually aches for your mum. She started stealing from us as a kid. Then it moved up to forged checks. Stole her sister's Christmas gifts. Then there were the multiple arrests. Conversion. Theft. Assault. Drugs. The final straw was when she dumped her kid and left town to fool with a married man for several years. The kid is 11. He has had a long haul. Everything she say is just a bunch of lies and more lies. And yes, she has had counseling numerous times. It hurts, but it is more peaceful. Did I mention the identity theft? Christ. That took a real long time to fix. Edit. She is my stepdaughter. Met her when she was 8. I still love her a lot. I love my son. But he abused me. When he turned that violence onto his sister by choking her, I had to say goodbye. I wish my mom had done that to my brother sometimes. She saw it all. But what hurt the most was having my parents, the people who are supposed to protect me, Ask me to forgive my attacker. Just because he happened to be my brother. If anyone else had done that to me they would have gone nuts on them. But he's blood. So it cancels out, I guess. My family disowned me because I disowned my mother. I was sexually groomed and abused, tortured by her husband for years, and when I finally told her, she not only didn't believe me, but stayed married to him for 7 years. I had to move out at 16 to get away from how I was being treated. Then when I finally began speaking to others, she started to cover her ass with her social circle by telling them that I seduced her husband. I cut her off for years and didn't ever want to see her again, but my family bullied me to just get over it and have a relationship with my mother, and that I was hurting her. Even my sister, who knew what happened, knew I stayed for so long to protect her, fell into a trap of my mother whining to everyone around her and painting me as a liar. About 4 years ago she was very suddenly diagnosed with advanced cancer and didn't have much time. I was moving out of my home state and everyone told me I needed to see her before I left. That I needed to be there. But I didn't want to. In the end everyone turned their back on me. They were so mad I wouldn't just forget my trauma just to say goodbye to someone I hadn't loved for a long time. And rightly so. Edit. I'm getting a lot of replies, so I just want to say thank you and send you all virtual hugs. I'm okay now. I'm grown up, and though I was set back in a lot of ways life-wise, I came out on top for the best. Anyone who is also experiencing this, you aren't alone. And if you need to talk, I'm here. Hey dear, I'm in the same boat. I have some siblings who know the truth, who were also abused but not sexually like I was, and are also NC, but my little sister, stepfather is her real father, basically said it was just one time, so I need to let it go. It wasn't one ducking time, and the fact that my mother admits it all happened now but is downplaying it infuriates me more. You know what? We've loved our mothers long after they deserved our love. Extended them so many chances. And they've just shit on us. I miss my sister, but I don't think I would even return for my mom's funeral. I'm done pretending she's a good person. By not pretending, I've taken my life back. My ex-wife disowned my son. We both married young when I was in the military, high school sweethearts. She became pregnant 6 months into our marriage. I don't think she connected with him at all after he was born. The most she did with him was Instagram photo shoots where she painted herself as #1 mommy. When he turned 3, I left the military. A year after that, she ran for the hills. I remember it like it was yesterday. I sat down with her at a local restaurant to talk divorce plans. We split all of our financials and material items down the middle. We finally got to custody for my kiddo, something I dreaded to discuss because fathers never gain custody in my area, and she tells me I want absolutely no responsibility. I was taken back and I asked if she was sure. She was. That one sentence hurt me more than anything else that happened during that time. My biological father wanted nothing to do with me, and now I was seeing it happen with my own child, but with his mother. I received full custody and she married within a year afterwards. She had another child too. Her parents try their best to be a part of his life, but she still does her best to avoid him. He's 7 now and used to it. But I know it weighs heavily on him. Shit sucks ass, but it's life, I guess. I just woke up and saw all the upvotes, messages, comments, and awards. I want to say thank you so much. I didn't expect this level of response. I don't usually share something as personal as that. My kiddo is a very awesome kid that has shown great resiliency beyond his years. He has rolled through the tough times better than even I. I can just hope he doesn't question his worth because of what his mom did. I know I questioned mine due to my own father leaving, and that has left scars that will not heal. Well, thank you all again, and you all have a wonderful day. It's better she isn't there if she never wanted to be. He may not know that now, but he'll probably figure it out as he grows up. I wouldn't say I've disowned or stopped loving my son, but it's real tough to find love for him. He's almost 14 next month, and he's currently out of our home at a treatment facility. He's averaged 2 arrests a year for the last 2 years. And he's attacked my wife several times, our daughters several times, and the neighborhood kids several times. He's run away from school, run away from home, and tried to push me off the roof of our house after threatening to jump off and hurt himself. We have become that family in our town where the police are called to our home on a semi-regular basis. He's been getting more violent as he gets older, not to mention bigger and stronger, and I honestly don't see an end in sight. The key fact I'm leaving out is that he's been diagnosed as high-functioning autistic and is also bipolar. But that's like putting walls around a tornado and expecting it to stay inside the walls. A lot of what has occurred he had little control over because of the way his mind is, where he's constantly at war with himself. Structure versus chaos. And my wife and I have tried desperately to give him the best life we can while keeping ourselves and our daughters safe. But I'm tired. It's been 8.5 years we've been going through this with him and I've been ready to throw in the towel on him for a while. But my wife refuses to let him go. So we wake up every morning trying to give him the best life for him and our girls. My brother has the same combo and was in a similar situation at that age. He's 10 years older now and studying for a PhD and engaged to a wonderful woman. I'm not promising that it will get better, but it can. I've seen it happen. Feel free to message me if you want to talk more. I've disowned one of my siblings, still have 5 other siblings. My sister is just a horrible person. She's the youngest of the 7. And she's been rotten since she was a teenager. She is much younger than the rest of us. So while the other 6 grew up together, she was almost like an only child. She treats everybody in her life like they're here to serve her needs. Some of the things she's put our mother through are truly horrible. I wouldn't give a shit if she disappeared forever. Treats everybody like they're here to serve her needs. Is she that Muffy Beach from Arthur? A little different. I was disowned. But I deserved it. I was an addict and a mess for a long time. My mom couldn't keep bailing me out of trouble and watch me self-destruct anymore. I wasn't living at home. She came to see me one last time to tell me she was done. Not to contact her. She would no longer have anything to do with me. She was in pieces. I can't imagine how hard it must have been for her. But it was the best thing she ever did for me. Once she cut me off, my rock bottom came hard and fast. After a little while of living on the streets and my addiction consuming me, I made my way to a detox center. Got a few days clean under my belt and never looked back. That was almost 15 years ago. After I was clean a little while, I contacted my mom. And little by little we built a relationship again. And now we're really close. I am forever grateful to my mom for letting me fall and letting me back into her life. This has to be the most heartwarming thing I've ever read. To be able to look at things rationally and not hate your mother, but rather appreciate what she did to you while you were in a dire spot. This is something not everyone can do at all. I don't know you, but I'm glad you were able to get back into your mother's life. And I'm sure she is also happy you got up on your feet. Wish you all the best. Do adopted kids count? We adopted a 3-year-old from foster care. Cutest, sweetest kid. He had a few issues, but we mostly figured it was because of his history. The issues escalated quickly. When he was 7, he hit our dog with a golf club. We had to keep him away from our dog and our cat. The cat disappeared. We assumed she got out and ran away. Found out years later that he killed it and threw it in the woods. The last straw was when he burned our home down. We sent him to a residential treatment center where he stayed for 2 years. During that time, he molested a roommate and became extremely violent. The insurance company told us that they wouldn't pay anymore and we'd either have to pay for him out of pocket, $40K a month, or bring him home. We have younger children and it wouldn't be safe. We ended up telling the state we wouldn't bring him home. So now we have a verified abuse report against us because we wouldn't bring him back, even though the therapists agreed with our decision. I don't love him. I wish the best for him. But I don't feel anything toward him. I'm just so sorry. Internet stranger. I cannot imagine how much pain you have gone through. I hope your family is well and that you know you did the very best you could. I don't know you, but for some reason your story really moved me. And I'm just so sorry you went through this. Wishing you and your family peaceful times ahead. Not my story, but in a similar thread to this one, asking parents about when they realized they raised a monster, someone linked to this post TLDR of that post. The son was a dipshit as a teen but took it way further by eventually raping his own mother, who committed suicide a year after. There it is. Surprised I had to go so far down to see it. Another guy who generally creeps everyone out by jumping the fence and just standing in the backyard at all hours of the night. Your sister dated Michael Myers. Ducking like and subscribe.